Back in the shop with another project update. This is my Scout 800 Woods Runner project. Not sure how many of you guys remember it. It's been a little bit since I did an update. Now, this truck now belongs to Matt from Canada. But before it went, we were doing one more little change on it. The front end of this truck was something I was never all that happy with. I started with a Proline Ambush CGR body. But from there, I basically had redone the whole truck with hand-formed steel body panels. Everything from the sides to the hood. The roof is aluminum, but that was about it. Now, the front end, I initially had narrowed that Lexan grill. Then from there, we decided that maybe we should mold our own. So we did a buck and then heat formed our own out of polystyrene. But it really just didn't have the definition or the look that I wanted in the end. So we wanted to take it a little bit further. Then I got the Robo 3D printer and thought I would decide to build a grill for that thing with the 3D printing. Now, I went through a lot of iterations. Some that were supposed to use axial light buckets to hold the headlights, some that I was going to build the headlight buckets into, some that just I didn't like, and some that were close but just not exactly what I wanted. Now, I fought that and fought that and fought that, and I just couldn't get the final product that I wanted. So one night I was down here in the shop and decided to just start playing around with some more steel. And what I ended up doing is taking some thick 1/4-inch steel bar and bending it in the outer shape that I wanted. And then I took and TIG welded on some steel around the outside to give it that front cowl look or whatever it needed to kind of blend back into the hood and fenders. In the end, it kind of turned out like I was hoping, and much closer than what I was getting with the 3D printing. Then Matt came up with another idea after I started that, and his idea was instead of using the axial light buckets or anything like that, like we had been using, to use a set of the new Vanquish Q series LED headlights. Now, these are a Cree LED headlight, and you just can't appreciate the light output that these things put out unless you see them in person. It is an insane amount of light, and they really put it out there. So it's one of those things. This is not a $2 dollar store flashlight headlight. These things are damn close to real headlights. Also, while we were working on this, we did put a 3 racing winch up on front for some aesthetics mostly, but it will be operational. And then I did a new front bumper to more mimic the one that was done on the real version of this truck that I was trying to do my best to replicate while I was at it. Pretty much the grill is mainly finished up now. It does need some body filler, sanding, painting, and all that, but it is attached to the truck. I actually welded it right to the truck. It is on there solid. It's tied into the structural bars of the chassis that lie underneath right here behind the grill, as well as down on the frame rails with some triangular pieces that I helped to tie it all into the frame to try and keep it as rigid as possible. Now again, this setup was using a forward motor setup. I've got the Holmes revolver motor in there, a censored outrunner, which was a fantastic motor for this rig. Tons of torque and exactly what it needed, since this rig really didn't have the sufficient amount of gearing that I needed because I'm using that dinky divorce kit in there, and it just doesn't have the gearing options that it really needs. So going with that higher torque motor is exactly what I needed to do to try and get this set up to run like I was looking for. Other than that, this thing is really still very tight up front. The servo is all the way up, very close to that grill. I'm going to 3D print another grill insert. Now, that will be much easier than trying to print the whole grill shell. So I'm going to need to get that in there, get it massaged, and make sure it fits because that servo is really close, like I was saying. But beyond that, this truck just needs a little bit of touch up, and then it needs a bunch of wiring because it still does have a 5-inch Vanquish LED light bar that needs to go up above the hood here. And then I've got to wire in these headlights, that light bar, and the winch, and make sure that it all works exactly how Matt is going to want it to work in the end. But that's where we're at with this thing. Super fun project. Oh, also something new probably since the last time. Put on a set of Method wheels and 1.9 Pitbull growlers. So a little bit different than the Treps. And oh, geez.
Sorry.
Worst.
I'm sorry. You didn't hear me go to
Now, something else new since the last update are these Vanquish method wheels and 1.9 Pitbull growlers. I do understand that I've got two of them on backwards. I just didn't pay attention when I was mounting them up to do this video. But other than that, this truck is really coming along pretty well. Looking forward to getting it finished up, as it has been around the shop for too long now. And since Matt has fully paid for it, since the Canadian dollar is crashing, I understand. And I do need to get it finished up and mailed out to him. And looking forward for him to have it and someone else to start driving it and enjoying it. I did have a lot of fun with this truck, and really look forward to doing another truck to this level here in the near future. But with that, we'll see you guys on the next one.